Hey guys, this is the ECMT3154 presentation. Our group's topic is the impact of Russia-Ukraine conference on crude oil prices. We will divide our presentation in 6 parts, including introduction, literature review, data selections, model structure, ARIMA modeling, and the conclusion. To start with the introduction, Russia is a leading producer and exporter of crude oil, shaping the global crude oil prices dynamic and the supply chain stability. According to the International Energy Agency, Russia's crude and condensate productions amounted to 10.5 million barrels per day in 2020, which representing 14% of the world's total supply at that year. Also, Russia exported apparently 4.7 million per day of crude oil globally at 2021 as well. However, the conference between Russia and Ukraine affected the global energy market. At the beginning of January 2022, crude oil prices stood at around $76 per barrel. By March, these prices had risen dramatically to $110 per barrel. The Russian-Ukraine conference shocked the global price of crude oil, making it reach to the highest crude oil prices in 8 years. The escalations of the conference lead to a severe diplomatic and economic backlash. Western nations respond to Russia's invasion of Ukraine by imposing sanctions that specifically target the purchase of Russian crude oil. There were in total 27 member blocs has banned the purchase and import of Russian crude oil. In our study, our objective is to analyze the change in global crude oil pricing following the effects of Russian-Ukraine conference. We aim to gain valuable insights into dynamics of crude oil markets under such extreme conditions. In order to gain a most sufficient result, we try to forecast a short-term crude oil prices for the upcoming 5 days based on the information we have.
In the past year, there has been a lot of research on the relationship between the Russia-Ukraine war and oil, and we have reviewed a lot of literature on this subject. The first one, they utilized the ARIMA model to make predictions about future oil prices based on time series data. However, because there are so many unpredictable variables at play, accurately forecasting long-term fluctuations in oil prices is not possible. The second, they figure out that examine how the association patterns of acids impact the volume of oil during war, using a model to assess correlations between acids. Strong correlation between oil prices and other acids, which offers empirical evidence to our study. And the third literature comes out. Oil prices and export volumes are significant factors that determine the level of dependence, disrupt capital markets, and undermine economic development.
Hi, my name is Li Shen. I'm trying to introduce the data section and model feed. And the data is selected from the closing price of WTI, include oil futures from January 4, 2021 to April 29, 2022 as the international oil price data. So from January 4, 2021 to February 23, 2022 is used as the training set, and the WTI international kilo oil price from February 24, 2022 to April 29, 2022 is used as the test set. First, the ARIMA model is feeding to the data in the international training set, and the international oil price of test set is predicted by the ARIMA model, and then compared to explore the impact of the conflict between Russia and Ukraine on the trend of international oil prices. And this is the international oil price trend in the training set before the conflict. And then we perform descriptive statistic and get the results. According to the descriptive statistic, before the Russia-Ukraine conflict broke out, the minimum value of the international oil price was $47.62 per barrel, and the maximum value was $95.46 per barrel, and the average value of the sample per barrel was $70.45 per barrel. The standard deviation is large, which is also means that the international oil price changes extremely sharply during the sample per barrel. And then we're using the auto-correction text. And this is the jump box text to verify the auto-corrections of international oil price is the training set. The specific results are as follows. And then we use the unit root test. We're using the unit root test to judge the stationary of the series. The first one is the AF test of the original series of international oil price. According to the unit root test results of the above table, we can see that the last specific and p-value corresponding to the ADF test of the original occurrences are -2.1494 and 0.5133 respectively. So the original service of international oil price accepts the new hypothesis of constraint and unit root at the 5% significance level, and the original service of the international oil price is not available during the sample period. The second point is the ADF test of first-order difference occurrences of international oil price original occurrences. And according to the statistic p-value of the ADF test corresponding to the first-order differences occurrences of international oil price in the table above, they are -6.8164 and 0.01 respectively, and the p-value is less than 0.05. So new hypothesis of content a new unit root is rejected at a significant level of 5%, and the occurrence's first difference occur is the stationary time series. The ACF and PCF graphs of the first-order difference series of international oil price is like this. That is our Riemann model. We try to use the 10 models to pick the training set of the international oil price with the best model. The ACI values fitted by different Riemann models are shown in the table below. So according to ACI minimum iterations, it can be seen from the growth table of the ACI values fitted by the ARMA 110, including drift model is 1095.11. This means the ARMA 110 including drift model can better fix the original service of international oil price before the Russia and Ukraine conflict. And this is the specific parameter estimations results of ARMA 110 including drift R. This is ARMA 110 including drift fitting effect test. We use three parts to analyze this. The first part is the standardized results plot, and the second part is the result autocorrelations diagram. The first part is the Ligar box statistics. The Ligar box statistic p-value diagram. If the p-value of the Ligar box statistic are relatively large, the p-value of the Ligar box statistic of the entire lag tens order are greater than 0.05, indicating that the standardized residuals have no corrections. As shown in the above figure, ARMA 110, including group can capture all the information of the international oil price data in the training set, and the rest is just noise. In summary, the ARMA 110 including drift model can well fit the international oil price of the test set, so this model can be used to predict the future trend of the international oil price outside the sample. And it can be observed from the figure table below when we establish a suitable Riemann model for the international oil price before the Russia and Ukraine conflict. While predicting the data in the test set, it can be found that if there is no conflict between Russia and Ukraine, the international oil price trend will gradually increase with the exchange of time. And this is the accurate value after the outbreak of the Russia and Ukraine conflict. After the Russia and Ukraine conflict, the accurate value of the international oil price recurrences more frequently, and the oil price trend shown as an inverted U-shaped triangle first increases, then decreases, and then increases. However, it seems that the accurate value of the international oil price in the test set after the Russia and Ukraine conflict all fell within the 80% prediction interval of our Riemann model fitted with the international oil price before the conflict. And therefore, the Riemann 110, including drift model fitting in this page, has quick accuracy. At the same time, comparing the predicted value with the accurate value after the outbreak of the Russia and Ukraine conflict, it can be observed that the Russia and Ukraine conflict will increase the volatility of the international oil price to quicken, extend, and add more unstable factors.
Hi, I'm Shakira. Now I was introducing the arena which uses brain cost oil. The start date is January 4th, 2022, and the end date is May 23rd, 2023. Judging from the closing price, after the beginnings of 2022, crude oil price began to rise and quickly rose to the highest point with official outbreak of Russia and Ukraine oil. After 3 months, crude oil price would gradually fall back and gradually stabilize after 2023. Figure 2 is different sequence of the closing price of Brent crude oil. After differencing, the sequence is more stationary. As this figure shows that the p-value of closing price test is 0.06 and the corresponding p-value of definition sequence test is 0. The results show that difference theory is more stationary. The formula has a significant autocorrelation with a p-value far less than 0.01, and the later test has p-value of 0.95, indicating no correlation. Judging from the term of the original sequence, closing price of breakthrough oil does not show a periodicity. After comparisons, the Arimas model has smallest ALC value, so this model is selected to predict the closing price of Brent crude oil. After regression, the model result as shown in this table. Figure 5 below is regression residues diagram, and figure 6 is normal list test diagram of the regression result, which basically is conform to the normal distribution. With the first method, after autocorrelation test of the residue, the p-value is 0.7, which is greater than 0.1, indicating that there is no zero autocorrelation. The second method was used to test the stationary of the unit row. The statistical value of the unit row test was -8.5, and the corresponding p-value was less than 0.01. The alternative hypothesis was accepted, indicating that the residue was stable. Figure 7 is a comparison chart between the real value and the fit value and the true fit value. Therefore, the prediction is made according to the model, and the prediction result is shown in the figure 8. Finally, it can be seen from the focus that current oil price has gradually stabilized. After conflict began, oil price showed a sharp upturn, but after about a year, the market gradually accepted the impact of conflict. The oil price market was gradually less affected by conflict, and the oil price gradually returned to the more normal with flatten fluctuations. The price of oil showed a steady change. According to the result predicted by the model, the conflict has indeed affected global oil price, and it has impacted the price of the oil markets in the early days of the war, resulting in the short term in oil price. But as the war situation is relative, oil price will slow fall and eventually fall back to normal price.
Hello everyone, I'm Yao Hui Hu, and I will talk about summarize for my group work. To sum up, the goal of our research to analyze the impact of the Russia-Ukraine conflict on global crude oil price trends, make valuable observation on the dynamics of the crude oil market under extreme conditions, and predict the crude oil price in the next 5 years. In order to achieve this goal, we have made a model which uses the closing price of WTI crude oil futures from January 4 to 2021 to April 29, 2022 at the international oil price data. We employed a linear regression model that uses time series data to understand the behavior of crude oil price during windows of world events. After our explorations, we found that there was an autocorrelation in the international oil price before the Russia-Ukraine conflict. Then we fit ARM110, including the draft model to the data in the training set and predict international oil price for the test set. Our analysis results show that before the Russia-Ukraine conflict broke out, the international oil price generally showed an upward trend, and the forecast results show that if there is no conflict between Russia and Ukraine, the international oil price will inevitably rise gradually. However, the actual value of the international oil price in the post-conflict test set showed an inverted U-shaped trend of rising first, then falling and then falling. This shows that the conflict between Russia and Ukraine has a greater impact on global crude oil, leading to short-term surge in oil price and leading instability to the market. Then we also use the post-conflict crude oil data to fit an ARMA212 model to predict the future trend of crude oil price. The ARMA212 model fitted to the post-conflict crude oil data accurately predicts the future trend of crude oil price, showing that crude oil price generally stable, where small price fluctuation and the relatively stable price trend. This shows that the crude oil market is moving from slowly recovering from the impact of the Russia-Ukraine conflict, returning to a normal price. In conclusion, this report provides valuable insights into the dynamics of the crude oil market under extreme conditions. Thank you, guys.